It's like, even like I said, it doesn't seem like a big deal that I'm on the YouTube singing the Doors, but it is a big deal because you can't do that. Like, no, you know what I mean, I'm licensed. I have all my dad's copyrights. Everything. James Morrison is who my father was. He's not actually Jim Morrison. He was James Morrison. I'm Jim Morrison. He all his copyrights and all everything. I own his portion of the Doors as well. So like right now, I could start. You know, matter of fact, Gwen sent me a thing that says that we're going to be touring at the end of the year. I don't know. We'll see.
So you're saying your father was Jim Morrison?
My biological father was Jim Morrison Jr. James Douglas Morrison. Yes, I was born Jim Morrison Jr. My mother, I don't even know how long. My mother was a belly dancer. She was at the show October 23rd, 1969 in Philadelphia. 40 weeks to the day I was born later. She told me when I was younger, you know, but they never mentioned it again. So I always knew. But at any rate, so I got shot in the face in 2001. They called me Bullet Head. I did an album. So it's Bullet Head, Jim Morrison Jr., a.k.a. Bullet Head. But right now, IMDb Pro and my Wikipedia, they're all putting together the Jim Morrison Jr. thing. So if you search me Jim Morrison Jr., or I'm mostly under Jim Morrison.
You were shot in the head?
I was shot in the face, yeah, back in 2002 in Philadelphia. Yeah.
What was that over?
Someone tried to carjack me, my car. I had a 79 vet. They tried taking it, and they weren't getting it. So.
And you said your wife is?
It's Gwen Stefani. Yes, it is. If you go on, and just Google Jim Morrison, Gwen Stefani, you go through those images, and you keep clicking on them, you'll see where her Wikipedia.
No, forget about the internet.
Okay. Yeah, she's my wife. She told me this. She see what happened was, we were supposed to get married in 2017. I had gotten arrested for smashing the windows out of a car on Rodeo Drive with my skateboard. What had happened prior to that is this car tried to run me over.
You're currently homeless?
Right now I am, yes.
Yeah.
And Gwen's aware of it, yeah. Because they cut all my military pension got cut off. Gwen put like $93,000 in the account for me. That $47 million net worth, Gwen has that. She controls that. But because of the fact...
Isn't she married to somebody?
Blake Shelton, supposedly, but she's not. No, this is what she told me the other day. This is what happened. I was in prison then, or I was in jail. What happened was she wanted it to be special for us to get married. So if you look at the date she's married to him, it's July 3rd, 2021, which is my dad's 50th anniversary of his death. She would have never married him. And plus, he's gay. So the thing is, I mean, Gavin was gay, but he's gay too. But the point is, he was a stand-in. That's why if you look, there was only 30 people at her wedding. She didn't make a big deal of it. You know what I mean? And she just told me the other day, she's just going to go public with it. But if there is pictures online that I came across that have Gwen Stefani Morrison on her Wikipedia. She goes by that sometimes.
All right. So Jim, tell me where you grew up.
I grew up in Philadelphia, outside of Philadelphia, suburb of Philadelphia, King of Prussia, right? Matter of fact, it's close to where Pink's from. Pink, Bam Margera. I know Bam Margera real well. He's a good friend of mine. He's from the same spot. So I was born in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, Norristown, where I was the hospital.
And you were, I assume, not raised by Jim Morrison?
No, he was dead. He had died. I was raised by several people. My mom repetitively got married, kept getting married, kept having me adopted. So, see, what it was just. Oh, so better yet. So let me just get to. So she was at the show October 23rd, 1969 in Philadelphia. He had gotten a lot back then. That like 2 month span, they were in Philadelphia and New York a lot. The Doors. My dad was getting shows were getting canceled and all. So a lot, but he did the October 23rd, 1969 show did go down at the Philadelphia Arena.
How old are you?
I'm 52.
52.
Yep. So I didn't come out. I was going to come out with this years ago. Matter of fact, when I was in high school, I seen Gwen. I was in high school right after high school. I seen No Doubt. I was like, man, I got to get with this chick because I knew who I was. I figured I'd just run out to California and get with these guys. You know what I mean? But what happened was I had kids. I got married, all this, and then so I decided to do the 50th year anniversary. So I came out in 2017 just to check because I've been in that a few times. Matter of fact, in 2005 when I was out here, the owner of the Rainbow Room, the whiskey, and the Roxy was Mario. I forget his last name, but his son Michael, who owns it now because Mario died, told me one day he came up to me in 2005 and I was out there with Lemmy Kilmister at the bar. He says, Bullet, come here, I want to tell you something. I said, what's that? He says, I feel responsible for killing your mother. Now listen to this. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, when I was 13, Janice had come in here and my father told me to put a case of Southern Comfort in her trunk and she died that night. So what are you talking about? So I didn't hear nothing about that Janice being my mother again until a month ago. The state management, Jeff Jampol's his name, his son approached me at the Rainbow Room up there in Hollywood. He said, hey man, my dad manages your estates. your mom and dad's estates. I said, is Jim and Janice? He said, yeah. He said, is your Jeffrey's kid? He said, yeah. I said, well, you need to tell Jeff, like your dad. First of all, I apologize for yelling at him. To do, but there's $20 million missing from the estate. I don't even care about that. My point is, don't shun me because of it. You know what I mean?
So you're saying your father is Jim Morrison.
Yes.
Your mom,
James Morrison. My mother is Karen Helinski, Lee Helinski. It's even going. But now they're saying that she was a surrogate for Janice.
And Janis Joplin.
Yeah, absolutely. And I sound just like Janice when I say I sound just like my mom. I always thought I looked like my mom too. A mix of my mom and my dad.
So Janis Joplin.
Right, but I have Karen Helinski's DNA in me as well.
And your wife is.
Gwen Stefani. Gwen Renee Stefani Morrison.
All right. So and you've done some prison time.
Yeah, I did. Absolutely. And yeah.
What was that for?
Okay. So I smashed this window. Did this car try to run me over skateboarding down to from Hollywood? At the time I wasn't homeless. I've only been homeless for like a month now. Anyway, and Gwen's supposed to be coming to get me. So is West Scanlon from Puddle Mud. But they're making a joke of everything, and it is funny. They know I'm not hurting out here. They know that. They know I'm resourceful. But the thing is, Wes is a friend of mine too, from Puddle Mud. He thinks it's funny. It's hilarious. But so anyway, this car tried to run me over, beeped at me, swerved at me, beeped and gave me the finger. I was like, what the f-? So I stopped skateboarding on my way down to the beach, Santa Monica at Rodeo Drive, and I grabbed a beer. And I'm sitting there, and I look at the window of the place, and I see the car that I thought ran me over, tried to run me over. So I went out on my skateboard, smashed the windows out of the thing, went back over, sat on the curb, and I got arrested and got taken away. That was it. That's all that happened. When I did 10 months in Twin Towers. When I got out with evangelism or whatever. So when I get out of there, I look on the internet. Now, this was 2017, 18, I think. I had never been on the internet, never on Twitter, none of that shit. So my son, when I was in jail, called me, or I called, he said, Dad, it's some actress. Matter of fact, the cop told me, he said, you're the most famous man in the world right now. So what are you talking about? He said, that car you smashed was an actress. So her name was Jamie King. I didn't know this. I didn't know idea whose car it was. I just know that it was the car that swerved at me. That's all I know. I know cars. So anyway, I go on Twitter, and I'm, on the internet, and she's bashing me. She's saying all this shit, all the homeless, the addict homeless is in this town, also. And I'm looking at their pictures. I said, I know this shit. And what happened was, it was Jamie King. I didn't know her like that, but I hooked up with her one time at the Roosevelt in the bathroom. So anyway, that's probably why she swerved at me, but they never to this day even asked me. So they're bashing me. Paul Francis Floyd's what they're calling me, because that was an adopted name of mine. The homeless vagrant, all this shit. Not that he's Jim Morrison's kid, that he's bullet head, he's got music, all this shit. But a lot of that shit was on the internet at the time. But my point is, when I get out, I make a Twitter account, because I want to snapshot these things you're saying. I want to start, getting into this social media shit. So I put my album cover on it. It's me on a tombstone. It says Bullet Head, Hell and High Water. The first time I ever put it out there in my whole life, this was only in 2017, that I was even Jim Morrison's kid. I never once mentioned it to anybody, except for people that knew, like Mario up here in California. There's people, and we're getting to the point of how I know that, how everybody knows this. So Kid Rock hits me up on Twitter. He's like, yo, Bullet Head, text me at this number. I'm like, Kid Rock, I'm like, get the f out of here. So I start texting him. At first I didn't believe him because the account wasn't verified, but he did explain to me. He says, I know you don't know anything. I'm like a like that. I'm so far behind. When I put my album out, dude, I thought I was getting cassettes made, and they were already up to MP3s, I swear to God. Oh, I could have $200 million in the bank right now in BMI. I don't even know what my record sales are, because it was MP3s, but I know 100% of it. Anyway, and so Kid Rock, we started talking. For like 6 months or so, we were talking, and so I had mentioned to him about Gwen, and he says yes or whatever. So he tells me Gwen needs 3 months. You know what I mean? She wants to meet with you, but she needs 3 months. She wants to quit. She's going to quit The View. She's going to quit her residency in Vegas, and she's going to break up with this Blake guy that she's with. She was with like a year or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. So in the course of that 3 months, there's a little spot down there on Sunset Boulevard, Sunset in La Brea. There's like a little apartment complex. Cher used to live in there, actually. Now it's like a mental health thing, but I didn't know people living there. So we were in there partying and whatever one day, and Nikki Sixx and them guys were doing the dirt. And the one guy, John, his name is John. He was the guitar player for Megadeth, the original one. And he's all bent out of shape anyway, because they fired him, all the shit, lost everything. But anyway, so he's in there, and he comes in with this guitar. He's like, yo, it's Nikki's guitar, this and that. And I just messaged Nikki too, like a minute before that. Anyway, what goes down is, so he comes in, and he's like, about this guitar with Nikki. And I know he's taunting me, and I know damn right well that Nikki knows where I'm at, because and he even said to me, did you just message Nikki? I said, yeah. So anyway, I know John's there, there's going to be problems with it. So John's in there. Now, prior to this, some chick I found out was Gwen, tricked me into taking a pic by myself. whatever. So John says, that was months before. He says, you know that pic you have? I'm like, what are you talking about, John? He's like, this one. I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, my girlfriend, my old lady. I'm like, who? The chick from the Pussycat Dolls? He's like, yeah. He has a kid with the singer from the Pussycat Dolls. I was like, what about her, John? He's like, well, she's seen. I said, what's she say? I have a small. He's like, yeah. So all this shit down, and then next thing you know, we're going back and forth, and I didn't know. I just got an iPhone 10. And I didn't, like I said, I'm not real good with this technology, but the phone was on. It was recorded. I didn't know this at first. So we get to John's like, I'm like, what would she say? I have a small. We're going back and forth with this shit. I'm like, John, you know, your dick is probably small. He's like, oh, it is a dude actually shrink, all this shit. So then he says to me, you remember Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson's video of their sex? I said, from like 30 years ago? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you ever see it? I'm like, no. And see, these guys know this about me. They probably knew that I didn't see it. So he's like, why don't you look it up? So I look it up, and I'm laughing. I'm like, holy, I'm like, I got him beat by fucking, you know, by inches. You know, it's all this shit. We got into this joking thing about Tommy and Pam and their video. And what ended up happening was that video was stuck on my phone somehow, or maybe it did or didn't. About a week later, I get a phone call from a guy, or he hits me up on the Instagram account. He says, I'm Bryce Wagner. He says, Jim, or Bullethead? I said, yeah. He said, Jim Jr.? I said, yeah. He says, I'm Bryce Wagner. He says, I'm a director for Netflix. He said, I'd like to know if you'd be interested in doing a movie. He said, your Star Meter came. I said, Star Meter, what are you talking about? I didn't even know I had an IMDb. They made it for me. He's like, your Star Meter come up. He says, the movie's I want to do it about you. It's called Rockstar's Forgotten Children. He said, because you were forgotten about, my brother. He says, I said, what are you talking about? This was before I even knew about anything.
Jim, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you use
occasionally, I party.
Chris?
I out here sometimes, yeah, because that's all there is to do. I mean, you know, here and there.
Yeah.
I'm not like an
How do you support yourself?
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Gwen's been sending me money a little bit here and there.
Gwen Stefani sends you money?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. But I mean, just to keep me going. And Wes Scanlon was supposed to send me 20 grand the other day, but that got jammed up because I thought it was something going on. But I mean, I got friends that are to help me out. But right now, she bought us, supposedly, I don't know if she still has that. I think she said she never even sold the house up on the hill. That's what we're going to be moving into. Supposedly. Look, man, I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's not, dude. It's not bullshit. So what ended up happening was, Bryce says, you know, I want to do a movie about you. I said, I don't really want to do that. I said, but if I can marry Gwen Stefani in the end, that'd be cool. So whatever. Ended up happening is I did that video somehow got to Jamie King's bodyguard because he was following me around. And what happened was I'd seen this star that comes up. It said security for the stars come up on my Instagram, and I sent a text message to Trump because I'm a disabled veteran and I'm a combat veteran, Navy, and I sent my ID, my military ID, to Trump even because I know he's been here, and you know I'm not ashamed to say it. I sent it to Trump. I said, Donald, who is this here in Hollywood? Who are these people? Like, I don't need security. So I sent the text off, and the reason I said that is because the cops, when they arrested me and put me in prison.
You ever met Donald Trump?
No, I've not. No, I know of him. I've never met him, but I've seen him on jobs. I'm a union carpenter. So I know Trump from the Taj Mahal when he built in Jersey. He's something else, dude. There's a lady who had a little house, little maybe $30,000 house. It was in the way of the building. And Trump offered $2.5 million plus a place for the rest of her life to live in the Taj Mahal. She said no. He built right around her. It was a way to stop the whole job had shut down.
So you met him once?
No, I never met him. I seen him before, but I never met him. The only reason I sent it to the president is because it's my right. I didn't know how slimy these cops are here. So I sent a picture of my ID and sent it. Whether I got something back or not, it doesn't matter. I know it went to him. You know what I mean? And what happened when they put me in prison, they started photoshopping shit. They photoshopped and twisted up the message they sent to the president. So anyway, this bodyguard. So I hit him up. I said, I don't need, I said, I appreciate it, but I don't need any kind of security. You know what I mean? He's like, no, I'm Jamie King's bodyguard. I said, is there a problem? Or something you got to meet with me? I mean, you're obviously following me around. You're on my Instagram. I don't even know how this works. So the guy turns around and he calls the cops. Well, Jamie King didn't even call the cops and said that I threatened him with this video. He said I sent him a video. I was talking about Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson's fucking tape. What else you told rock stars talk about? Sizing guitars. You know what I mean? That's all we're talking about. And so he's like, you threaten him with this video you sent. It was a video. And at the end of the video, you heard, because John had said something stupid, and I went over and smacked the guitar off of John's lap, Nikki's guitar. Because I told him, I said, I don't care, the guitar's a piece of shit. And I knew it was Nicky. I knew what he was doing. I knew he was taunting me. I knew Nicky was probably, and I'm sure Nicky knows about it. I know Tommy did because Tommy and Pam, then they re-released their video after I went to jail for over the shit. After the prison. It's a big joke.
Is Jimi Hendrix your uncle?
Huh?
Is Jimi Hendrix your uncle?
I call him my uncle. I do because he was best friends with my father and my mom. Yeah, I call him my uncle. And had they survived, he would have been my uncle. You know what I mean? I do call him my uncle. I do. I say Uncle Jimmy all the time. I do. Nothing wrong with that.
What about Elvis?
Elvis Presley? What about? Well, I don't. You know,
is he alive?
Wes Scantlin gets, of all places to get kicked out of and get arrested, he got kicked out of Graceland. I'm like, Wes, what the? Like, what for what? What do you do? I can see him. I know he is. He probably went in the bathroom that Elvis died in there or something. I jumped in the shower. I guarantee it was something like that. So funny. That dude's a trip. But I compare. You know, now Wikipedia. They asked me. Because I'm an author. I mean, believe it or not, dude. If you that one picture I showed you, it has a picture of my dad. Because I put in one time, who is Bullethead Jim Morrison's son? Because like I said, I was born Jim Morrison Jr. And there's nothing about this. They started calling me Bullethead, but that was just because of.
When you say you're called Bullethead because you got shot.
Because I got shot and I did the album.
Where did it hit your brain?
I went in within my temple. Went in my sinus cavity. Within my sinus cavity. Right, it was behind my sinus cavity, and my eyes swelled up, and I went into the hospital. And they, so we had to do nothing. You come back so every day I had to go back for like 2 weeks till the swelling went down. All this shit, get antibiotics. And what happened was when they took it out, they put a little incision. I went on Howard Stern actually too over this, and he said it was the biggest pain in the ass in the history of the show because I wouldn't say nothing about it. But anyway, so they took the bullet out of my eye. But the doctor said to me, I swear to God, dude, he was like, "Let me ask you a question." He said after the surgery, it was like a short procedure. He says, "Do you a cocaine user?" I said, "Well, I used to hit it pretty hard in the '80s. Why?" He's like, "Why?" And if my mother, Karen, the birth mother, she's with me, and we don't get along. We never did. I knew because she's a liar. She holds information. Anyway, I knew it. I said right away, she's gonna start asking me that doing in high school, right after this operation. She's like, "I knew that's what you were doing." And I said, "You were always that." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, man." I'm like, "Why, Doc?" He's like, "Because when we pulled the bullet out, he thought when he first went in there and looked at it, he thought it was an infection around it because it was a white pus. He said it was a ball. I swear to God, a ball of cocaine stopped the bullet. It was in my sinus cavity." That's what he said to me. I swear on my life. That's what the doctor told me. Now I know because I know people that snort like their pills that have like they're not oxycodone. It's mixed with amphetamine or whatever it is. It's Tylenol. So I know people that snort them, and every once in a while they blow out a chunk of that shit. So that's what happened. The cocaine stopped the bullet. Anyway, back to today. So the whole time, and even like Gwen, she's been around longer than you wouldn't think because I even wrote my song called "Move It Girl" is about her in her Hella Good video. But so Bullethead. So they're calling me Bullethead, but it was actually the name of the album. You know what I mean, I should have been featuring Jim Morrison Jr., which I'm doing now. But I did see on the internet, someone somewhere a few years ago had done that, and it says that presenting. I think it was Gwen because Gwen does a lot. Gwen's a powerful woman, dude. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I don't think people understand that. Gwen is a powerful. She's not to be taken lightly. It's like this lipstick company that she did. That's because of me. Because I heard that matter of fact, I was just talking to this chick today, Kylie Jenner, you know what I'm talking about? Kelly, whatever it is, Kylie. So someone told me, I was just, this morning, matter of fact, before my phone died, she was just messaging me. I said, someone said to me, Kylie Jenner's a billionaire. I said, a billionaire? I said, is that Ms. Bruce Jenner's daughter? I said, yeah. I said, she's a billionaire. For what does she do? They said, well, she has a lipstick company. I said, a lipstick company? I said, if anybody should be a billionaire because of lipstick, it should be Gwen. Because if you think of Gwen back in the day, what do you think of? Red lips and bleach blonde hair, right? So I said that, and what happens? I go to jail. So for the 4 years that I'm in jail, she even sent her computer. Her webmaster came in prison to talk to me, and told me the reason that they said I was homeless is because my ID, my California ID, which I didn't even need because I had a Pennsylvania ID, which they took from me, the motherfuckers. Anyway. It had an address on it where a lot of homeless people go. See, that's probably why they called you homeless. So he said to me, and I said, well, I don't give a fuck. That's what pissed me off. When they said skateboarder, they didn't say, I don't care. But they said homeless vagrant. So anyway, I said, I didn't know nothing about that. Someone told me when I got here, because when I first came out this time, I was just staying in hostels, or not hostels, yeah, hostels, that's what they're called, and hotels. But
it's got to be frustrating for you having a father whose estate is probably worth millions and millions.
I know. He's all over the building, dude. I get treated like a fucking
wife who's
I get treated like shit. And he's all over the building. And my mother's Janice Joplin.
And you're living homeless.
I'm living, and again, yes. And Gwen could stop it tomorrow, but she's got her own agenda, and I understand. And Gwen, like I said, she's got a lot of things that she's got to make sure right for her. Because, and to tell you the truth, she told me that she got raped by the fucking blacks in the music business. Because I started a bunch of that too. Because you know who Shane Paul is? You ever heard of that guy?
No.
Okay, well he does this Light My Fire. Listen to this. So Shane Paul, his record label's in Jamaica for one. He comes up and Light My Fire. Well, I don't give a dude. You know what? As soon as I seen it, I videotaped myself. I said, dude, I don't know who you are. I said, but I tell you one thing right now. You got Gwen, my old lady's name on your thing here. I said, I don't know what's going on here. I said, and Gwen won't tell me nothing. I said, because she wants me to run enough. I said, it's going to come around full circle, dude. I said, the only thing I'm telling you right now is no one in 50 years has fucked the Doors music, okay? No one has.
You were friends with Lemmy?
Yeah, I was real good friends with Lemmy, absolutely. Lemmy told me a lot about my dad. Absolutely. And Mario too. Matter of fact, Mario, the old man, I forget their last name up there at the Rainbow Room. Mario pulled me out one day and said, oh, there's somebody here I want you to talk to. I go out, it was this lady, this older lady. I sit down, she says, hey, how you doing? She says, she starts going into this story. She says, your father used to babysit me, she said to me. She said, I did see a picture. I'm not my dad's critic, so I don't research the guy, okay? I'm his son, not his critic. I am a lot like him. In many ways, I write like him. They call us both world-class writers or some kind of thing. I forget what it is. But anyway, there's a picture of him with this little girl. I wondered if that was her. It probably was. I just seen that recently. Anyway, she says, your father used to babysit me. She says, she said there was a store down the street. And I guess that's the one that's up somewhere up in Laurel Canyon, I guess, or whatever. Supposedly, there was a store, and the guy who worked there was like a deformative or whatever. You know, like people who get like elephantitis. You've seen people that are like deformed. That's who the guy was. And they had a pet monkey, I suppose, which told me in the store. So actually, he says, there's a store where the creatures meet. You know what I mean? And she's got monkeys, lazy time, and stuff, monkeys. That's where that comes from. So anyway, she said he comes back from the store he went down to get candy for her, and he had something in his hand. He handed it to her. It was Love Street. He wrote Love Street, and he said to her, "Do you think people will like it?" She was 6 years old, and he said, "They're gonna love it, Jim." So that's my story about. It kind of touched me. You know what I mean? I was like, "That's cool," you know. So then I asked her, "Do you have anything else?" I'm interested. Oh, dude, I always knew my dad's leather pants were somewhere, the ones that he wore for like 2 years, whatever it was, dude. I'm like, I know what, dude. I got a person. I'm like, I'm gonna get it. I said, she married this guy. She was supposed to break up with him. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man. So I'm like, I didn't even know the thing was recorded. It's on the internet somewhere. I've seen it somewhere. I'm at the TGI Fridays because I knew my dad's pants were. I've seen him there. And it's funny thing is, dude, let me just I know I'm probably giving a lot of information. It's funny because there was Frank Zappa's pants and my dad's pants. Now, why is that? I don't know. But prior to coming out here, I was staying in the Poconos Mountains in Pennsylvania. I'd moved up there from Philadelphia, from King of Prussia. And I stayed with this lady who I met, who had a room in her little cottage. She said, I can rent it out. So because I was trying to get away from my probation officer out there a little bit. And I stayed going up there for probation was easier. So one day she comes out to me, she said, all right, Mr. Rockstar. She goes, who's this? And these pictures, she showed me these pictures. They were like Kodak pictures. They weren't, she has a computer, but she's still behind the times too, And I said, I don't know. I said, who? She said, look at it. I said, well, that's your husband, Frank, who's dead. I never met. She said, yeah, well, who's the other guy? I said, I don't know. She said, he's in rock and roll. I said, I have no idea. I said, I don't know. Bob Dylan? She's like, no, it's Frank Zappa. Her father, supposedly in '83, Zappa went on a hiatus. He went away from everything. Zappa was he was an interesting guy. You know what I mean? Everything he did. That's why he never got radio time because he was like me. He's like, I'll shit up in a second. If it's an opportunity, I'm going to up. Just from not meaning to, but just there's so much to tell or whatever. So anyway, there's the first time I ever contacted Robbie. I don't know why. So she told me that Frank used to live with them in that house. As a matter of fact, Frank was friends with her husband, who was a professional boxer back in the '50s. So that's how that connects. But I heard he don't drink and smoke. That's bullshit. He was a closet drinker. He would hide bottles everywhere. All this weird shit. He wouldn't let the food couldn't touch each other. He would have pillows and like sheets brought in. It was just, that's what he did. So anyway, for some reason I decided, you know what, because I was on my way out here, that's what it was, and it took another 2 years for me to actually get out here again. So I looked up Robbie, because like I said, I was just getting on the phone at the time. I said, let me see if I can find Robbie Creed. There he is. He's on Twitter. I want the Doors to be remembered as, and he's like, I want the Doors to be remembered as, and I'm like, yeah, dude, and I'm like, and yeah, and he's like, and the funny thing is, because now I know, they all know about me. I didn't know that they even knew Jim and Janet had a kid. So this was back in 2015. So I'm not watching Robbie. I'm like, how about? And he's like, I want the Doors to be remembered as a cosmic force in this universe. That yada yada. All this, it wasn't. We weren't ruled by the asshole front man that's drunk and causing problems all the time. The rest of the band doesn't cause the problem. All this shit like this motherfucker. I'm like, how about this, Robbie? How about you remember this as a as a rock and roll band. I'm on my way to fuck out there, right? So I got an email address. And I hit him up. I said, how about you be remembered as a rock and roll band? Because I'm on my way to there. So I'm Jim Morrison's kid. I said, you don't know if you know who I am yet. I said, but if you, I said, but ironically enough, I'm staying in a house in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania that Frank Zappa stayed in. And so when I got out here, I had just happened to walk in the Hard Rock Cafe, and there's Zappa's leather pants and my dad's. I'm like, what the f? So anyway, when I get out of jail, prison, I go to prison all shit afterwards.
Are you staying in a tent?
No, f.
Where do you sleep?
I stay in a couple people that I know, other places or whatever.
Oh, you do?
And I have a few friends that have apartments. You know, I'm not going to go even up to I don't even go up to the Rainbow. Wes was supposed to come get me. I don't know what they think it's a joke. Even Flea.
Are you tight with any other celebrities?
I know Bam. I knew Lemmy. I mean, I don't like the children, like Flea and them guys. Can I say I know them? Can't say I know them personally, but I do. They know who I am because I'm on when Gwen and No Doubt put out their.
What do you love most about Gwen?
What I love most about Gwen, I love about Gwen is the way she is, dude. She's funny. Dude, when I first seen her back in the day, man, I was like, what the. I don't know if they were on MTV or VH1. I was like, did Tommy Lee fucking, now mind you, I knew who I was, but I'm living a normal life, you know what I mean? I went to the Navy after high school, I was a carpenter, you know, I was working, I had kids, Brandon was 6 months old, my oldest was, so I gotta tell you something about that. So Brandon was 6 months old, my oldest. And look, I'm like, who the f***? I know, that was after, that's what I seen. But when I've seen him for the first time, that's right, she was in her muscle shirt, her fucking weight beater. I'm like, did Tommy Lee dye his hair and put lipstick on? Like, I really thought that's what he did. Because, Brett Michaels has a sister named Tracy, who I actually took my virginity, actually, believe it or not, back when we were 15. She was, that's whole nother story. She was at a bad girl's house in our neighborhood. Anyway, so I knew how these, you know, they like Brett even, like he would wear makeup. I thought and it was Gwen. But what I like about Gwen, I like the way she do. She's a tough girl, man. I'm telling you, she's smart, she's funny, and she won't let you know. You know what I mean? Like, she just, I don't know, there's a lot, dude. She's fun. It's like this company, this lipstick company. She starts.
What do you think she loves about you?
I think she loves everything about me. I mean, that's what she tells me. I mean, I think the fact that I'm who my father is. Now, if I wasn't talented, if I didn't do music, if I wasn't.
She's spending a lot of time with that dude Blake, if she's married to you.
Well, how much time she spent on him? It doesn't even matter. He was a stand. He's gay. I don't give a fuck. He's gay. He's not. It's funny because I told him the other day. As a matter of fact, I can show you my message on my Twitter. So when Blake hits me up, and it's from his account. You know, I know his account. I mean, it's obviously there's a check mark, but then there's another one. But anyway, he's like something I want to talk. And I said, well, that's fine. So we do need to talk, Blake. I said, because I've been putting all this shit on the internet. I said, dude, there's like 17 or 18 pictures of him kissing men. Okay, I don't care that you're gay. That's fine, dude. You didn't disclose it for one. Okay. See, this is what you got to remember. I just found out that she married me a couple days ago. So all this whole time I thought she actually did marry her. I'm like, what the f?
You just found out what?
A couple days ago, she just told me that, because I kind of thought that. I was like, why would, first of all, the whole Shane Paul, there's so much. That's what I need.
You don't remember marrying her?
No, I wasn't present. That's what I'm saying. I was in prison.
She married you.
Supposedly, he was a yes. Yes, and she told me the other day she was going to put something out on the internet about it. She's a beneficiary on my bank account. She could have easily married us. That's what I'm saying. Gwen can do whatever she wants, dude. It doesn't matter. She's world power. She's got world powers, dude. I'm telling you. She's got there's 30 webmasters all over the world. Like she's not a joke, dude. She's a very powerful person, dude. I'm telling you. She is. She's the only. I can say whatever I want on her. I can make. I have accounts that are in her. They're official accounts of hers, and she sends me information. And she puts accounts together. If you go on Quario, you know what that is. Mm-hmm. There was an account she made. That was made up for me. There, it was already made up, and it's all about. And even her LinkedIn. If I trash her, dude. I trash her a lot of times. I do talk. When I talk a lot, I call her a nigger lover. I call her all kinds of shit because that's what the you put yourself out to be in the nice one. If you're not, it's fine. But the thing is, now you got this. She's my language. I know the whole N-word pissed her about, but fuck if it does. Because my whole thing was with that was what I was saying about these black kids that are in this music business. And most of them are black. I don't care. I'm Philly. I'm not a prejudice, but I'm saying most of them are fucking black. They're not all black, but they're all. In my opinion, you're taking pieces of people's fucking music, putting it together, and you're getting away with it. You're not making money. That's the thing. You're not even making money. You're just getting followers on YouTube. You're not getting paid because of YouTube. No disrespect, I know you're making money off it. YouTube's the reason that the music business is f***ed up. When Tommy Conway or Tommy Petty put out The Last DJ, marketing director started when YouTube started. YouTube will tell you if you get a copyright infringement notice, we'll tell you how to get around it. I sent a copyright infringement notice to Gwen and to Interscope and Shane Paul to him, but there's no use because his label's in Jamaican. She didn't even know that. So anyway, Interscope took it down, but the thing is, it doesn't matter. They want to take it down. My point is, no one. You're a piece of shit. You're out there, and Gwen's in your video now. Oh, did I call us all kinds of that? But Gwen knew that, and the thing is, like I said, she's not dumb. She lets me run my mouth the way I do because she doesn't. I don't know anybody. She was right by the industry. She was right by the blacks in the industry. Now you want me to tell it again? She was okay, and she was okay. She won't tell me who it was. And you can ask Dr. Dre, ask LL, ask Diddy. I talked to all of them. I even sent a video to Dr. S. I don't give a how they're going to take it out here, Dre. But I'm going to be this and that. I said it's a point. And
Jim,
the fact is,
Jim,
I'm sorry.
I think we're good.
All right.
I believe it all except for the Kid Rock story.
What about Kid Rock?
I'm just joking.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be yelling like that, man. Sorry about that again. I get worked up.
That was a hell of a story.